Hi, this is Elizabeth Pampalone, and thanks for watching Absolute Marketing. Today I wanted to talk to you about sales. Now, this is a huge, broad topic, so I'm not going to be able to cover everything. Obviously, it's such a huge topic. But I did want to break down what I've found has been successful when I meet somebody or when I talk with them, and the process I go through from that first encounter with them, and then how I follow up with them throughout the next couple of weeks or even couple of months, depending on how our interaction goes. So the first thing is I usually meet people at networking. I meet them through other colleagues. Maybe I get an introduction email to them. And so I might actually meet them in person, which is great. And then we can have an actual conversation, even if it's just for a few moments, get their information so that I can follow up with them. I never leave it to chance that they will follow up with me. If I think they're even slightly interested in what I have to say, or if I think they might be a good candidate for something, or maybe something I do might help them, but we might not have gotten to talk about it yet, I actually say, can I get your information? And I rarely give out my card. I mean, I do when people ask for it, but I don't give it out just willy-nilly anymore. I actually will hold on to my cards and say, you know what? I am the follow-upper in this relationship. And I've actually used that when I've been talking at networking meetings. They'll say, oh, let's exchange cards or something like that. And I'll say, actually, who here is the best follow-upper? And everyone will start laughing, or they'll look around at each other like, I don't know, who is it? And I say, well, I'm really good at following up. So whoever wants me to follow up with them, I'll take your card. And usually everyone gives me their card. And then this puts the ball in my court. They know that they don't have to do anything. They're off the hook. But I can actually follow up with them. Not only on their cards do they usually have their email, which is what I start with, but it also has their phone number. So then I can text them after I've emailed them. I can follow up with a phone call later on if needed. So now I'm the one who is in charge of the follow-up. I like this approach because for me, being type A, I like to be in charge of things and I like to control the situation a lot of the time. And this allows me to do that and know that I've done everything I can do. And now I've left it to them to decide if they want to reply to me or not. Now, when it comes to emails, sometimes those don't go through. Sometimes they go to people's spam. Sometimes people just don't read their emails at all, and they just get so many every single day, and they don't clean out their inboxes. Then your email gets lost in the shuffle, and they may never even read it. So I do have a tracker in my email system that allows me to know if someone read my email or not. So if I'm going to go follow up with them, I can check that email, make sure that it was read, and if it wasn't, I can use the second approach. My second approach would be after a week or two, depending on the urgency of the situation or what they were thinking or speaking of when we were speaking at the time. I will decide if I want to text them or call them. If they're an older person, and by older I mean older than me, my parents' age and up, then I will probably call them on the phone and leave them a voicemail if they don't answer. If they are younger, my age or younger, then I will probably text them because that's usually what gets a better response. So I will kind of gauge that based on that. Then I will leave it for a week or two, again, depending on the situation, and then I will follow up again with another email or another phone call or text. So maybe they responded to me, or maybe they just were like, oh, I'm so busy right now. Or maybe they even said, great, I'll book a call with you, because I always send my booking link, whether I'm texting them or I'm calling them. I let them know my phone number so they can call me back. And I also give them a time when they can call me back. Or maybe if I'm emailing them, I'll say, here's a link to my calendar. You can book something with me. I'd love to talk with you. So they always have an opportunity to get back in touch with me. And a lot of times people will just kind of reply to you to kind of pacify the situation, or just at least let you know that they were acknowledging you. They'll say, great, I'll do that. And if they don't do that within a day or two, like 48-hour period, I actually will reply to them and say, hey, I just want to put this back on your radar. I know that you're busy, and kind of remind them that I'm still there waiting for them to book something. This is usually what happens. People just get busy. They're not doing it maliciously. If they really don't want to talk to you, they pretty much will say so, and they'll go, I don't need that right now, but thank you, or something like that. And that's perfectly fine. That allows both parties to move on. But after those follow-ups, I've been the one that's been in charge of the follow-up, leaving it in their court for a little bit of time, and then coming back with, hey, did you forget about me? Don't worry, I'm still here. And that actually has helped a lot of people, because sometimes when people get busy, they actually feel really, really guilty that they didn't follow up with you. And then when they feel guilty, it actually makes them more guilty when they realize they didn't follow up with you and they really don't want to feel ashamed by talking to you, so then they still don't answer you or call you back or talk to you at all. So this can be really, really hard for people to overcome. And it's good if you're able to say, hey, I get it. Like, you are so busy, but guess what? My product or service is actually going to help you not be that way. My product or service is actually going to help you to eliminate this anxiety, eliminate this overwhelm. And so reminding them that you're there to help them and to help them be less busy, and to also say, like, I understand. Like, you don't have to be ashamed or worried that you were so overwhelmed you forgot about me, because guess what? It happens to everybody. So knowing that you have this follow-up system that you can perform every single time. Now, once you get to a certain point with somebody, it's kind of like, okay, I guess you don't want to talk to me, and that's okay too. They might not respond to you at all, ever. But knowing that you have like 3, 4, 5 attempts that you're going to use. And I do like to use a CRM. I haven't used one in such a long time, but we've recently started using one again. And it's been really helpful because you can actually put tasks in it. We use a CRM called Capsule. It's in our Pro Toolkit if you'd like to check that out. But basically, it allows us to create tasks. So when I do call someone, when I do text them, when I send them an email, I basically go into the CRM. Yes, it's an extra step, but hear me out. Go into the CRM, let the CRM know that I did this action for this client or potential client. And then I actually put a tag for, okay, now my next time I'm going to talk to them is here, or, on this date at this time, and I'm going to call them, I'm going to text them, I'm going to email them, whatever my next action is going to be. Now, the good thing about CRM is that once you start to put things in, it will actually say, oh, you actually contacted them before your due date, or you came in here and you started, they talked to you before the due date of the next task. And so now you can just remove that task and everything is great. So you don't have all these empty tasks waiting for you. And so using a CRM can really keep you on track. It can also show you where people are in your pipeline, so to speak. This is something that I didn't like using in the past, but I really see the value of, because you do forget about people. Even me, the best follow-upper in the world and the most type A person ever, I still forget about people. And you don't want to do that if you're in the middle of a conversation. So think of your sales pipeline as a conversation. You've just met someone, you're starting to get to know them, and if you let them go and they don't respond to you and you don't respond to them either, you don't follow up with them either, that's where you can definitely leave money on the table and lose that potential sale. As long as you do everything that's within your power to do, and you follow up to the nth degree, to the end of the line, whatever that might be for you, maybe that's 3 times, maybe that's 10 times, maybe that's 5 times over the course of 6 months, and you keep spacing out your times longer and longer every time you contact them, then that works as well. But I've actually found that some people will come back after up to a year and actually say, you know what, because you followed up with me so much, I realized that what you do is really important, and it made me remember you when I did need that service or that product. So I hope this has helped you with your sales and giving you some insight into our follow-up process and our funnel, and how we get people to go from being just an acquaintance that we met at some networking event or got introduced to in an email, all the way to a raving fan. Talk to you next time.